My beloved child, there is a woman who needs support, and your wise presence may become a light during the difficult season through which she is passing. I do not say this to place a burden upon your shoulders that causes you to panic, nor do I want you to believe that her destiny depends entirely upon you. I am simply awakening the compassion you have often hidden because you were once used, misunderstood, or gave too much without knowing how to protect yourself. Sometimes a person does not need someone to arrive and solve their entire life. They need only someone willing to stop, look beyond the surface, and sincerely ask whether they are truly all right. Perhaps you have noticed a change in her eyes, her voice, or the way she has withdrawn. But because you feared intruding into something private, you remained silent. Today, I do not want you to ignore what you have recognized, but I want you to approach with gentleness, respect, and awareness. This woman may be carrying far more than she reveals. She still appears, continues fulfilling her responsibilities, and may even smile so that no one worries. Yet behind that calm exterior are unanswered questions, a weariness she does not know how to share, and the fear that if she tells the truth, she will be considered weak or become a burden. Some people become so accustomed to caring for everyone else that they no longer know how to ask for help. They listen to the pain of others while concealing their own tears. They continually say that everything is fine, not because they do not need love, but because they opened their hearts too many times and received indifference in return. If this is the person near you, do not pressure her to tell you everything. Create a safe space where your presence carries no judgment, curiosity, or need to control. What I ask of you may begin through something very small. It may be a message asking how she is, an unhurried conversation, a shared meal, or a word that helps her remember that she has not been forgotten. You do not need to prepare grand speeches. Sometimes the simple statement that you are willing to listen is enough to open a door. Allow her to decide how much she wants to share. Do not turn concern into an interrogation. And do not tell her story to others merely to seek advice without first receiving her consent. Trust is fragile, especially for someone who has experienced betrayal. When she entrusts you with a part of her story, preserve it respectfully. What appears to you as a small detail may be a pain she gathered all her courage to put into words. I also want you to understand clearly the limits of your role. You are being called to support, not to control or become solely responsible for every decision she makes. If the situation involves health, safety, violence, emotional crisis, finance, or legal matters, wise love will help connect her with trained professionals and suitable resources. Do not promise secrecy if she or someone else is in danger. Do not believe that your affection and advice alone will be sufficient for every circumstance. Some wounds require time, professional care, and a wider network of support. You may walk beside her through part of the journey, help her find information, accompany her to an appointment, or encourage her to speak with someone trustworthy. But you do not need to become the entire system of rescue by yourself. Perhaps the prompting to support her has already appeared within you. You think of her unexpectedly. Notice that her silence feels different from usual, or sense that you should contact her, yet continue hesitating. Examine that prompting through love and discernment. Do not tell yourself that you know exactly what is happening within her. Ask rather than assume. Listen rather than conclude. and respect her if she is not ready to receive help. Right support does not violate another person's freedom of choice. You may open a door, but you must not drag her through it by force. Perhaps she needs time to believe that you truly care without expecting anything in return. Allow your consistency to prove what a moment of emotion cannot. I know you have given until you became exhausted. Some people saw your kindness and treated it as a resource without an end. You tried to solve the problems of others, took responsibility for their emotions, and felt guilty whenever you could not meet every need. Therefore, when I call you to help this time, I am not calling you back into a life of forgetting yourself. Compassion does not mean you must always be available, regardless of your health, work, or limitation. You can say, "I care about you, but this situation requires additional support." You can give time to listen and then allow yourself to rest. You can refuse unhealthy demands while still remaining compassionate. Boundaries do not make love less sacred. They prevent love from becoming dependence, resentment, or control. If she has hurt you before, the invitation to support her does not require you to reopen every door. Appropriate help may simply mean directing her toward another source of support, sending a peaceful message, or forgiving inwardly without returning to an unsafe relationship. I am not asking you to enter a place where you may be harmed again merely to prove that you are kind. Sacrifice does not mean accepting abuse. Learn to distinguish between someone who is genuinely struggling and someone who uses hardship to manipulate your compassion. A person who truly wants help will gradually accept responsibility for their choices. A person who wants control will often make you feel guilty, threaten you, or demand that you abandon every boundary. Keep your heart tender, but let your eyes remain clear. Perhaps you are worried because you do not know what to say. Remember that presence is often more valuable than explanation. You do not need to tell her to be strong, nor must you immediately search for something positive within her pain while she is still suffering. Do not minimize her emotions by saying that everything will pass when you do not yet understand what she is facing. Speak honestly. I do not understand everything, but I am willing to listen. Ask what she needs instead of deciding on her behalf. Some people need to be heard. Some need practical assistance, and others simply need you to sit beside them without requiring them to speak. Mature love does not always rush into action. It knows how to pause and recognize which form of help truly respects the person in pain. This encounter between you and this woman may also teach you something important about yourself. As you help her, you may discover areas within you that still need healing. Fear of rejection, the need to become indispensable, or the habit of measuring your worth by how much others need you. Allow service to purify you rather than turning it into the place where you seek identity. You are not valuable only because you can rescue someone. You are valuable even when you must rest, when you have no answer, and when you can offer only a small part. What I placed within you is not the power to control another person's life, but the ability to bring peace into a chaotic moment, kindness into a cold place, and a reminder that someone still has the right to hope. When you approach, do so without expecting a reward. Do not help in exchange for closeness, gratitude, or a relationship shaped according to your desire. She does not owe you because you stood beside her during a difficult day. Pure assistance allows the recipient to preserve dignity and freedom. If she recovers and later moves in another direction, you may still remain peaceful because what you did came from love. Blessing is not a reward unlocked by an act of exchange. Blessing is already present in the moment. You choose what is right without turning kindness into a contract. You will grow, understand more deeply, and learn how to use the gift of empathy without allowing it to empty you. I, Michael, am beside you to guide each step. If you should speak, I will remind you through peace and genuine compassion. If distance is necessary, I will give you enough clarity not to be pulled by guilt. If the situation exceeds your ability, I will help you recognize the proper resources to which she can be connected. You do not need to accomplish everything in one day. Begin with something simple, specific, and safe. Ask, listen, respect, and promise only what you are truly able to fulfill. Faithfulness in one small action is more valuable than great promises that disappear when circumstances become difficult. Therefore, my beloved child, allow compassion to guide your steps without abandoning wisdom. This woman may need a hand, a word of encouragement, or a road leading toward the right support. You are not the entire answer, but you may become a beautiful part of that answer. Approach without intruding, love without controlling, and help without losing yourself. When you use your presence, words, and abilities with purity, you do not merely lift a weary person. You help create a world where pain is not ignored and no one must feel ashamed for needing support. This is how the light within you fulfills its purpose, not through display, but through a heart that knows how to see, ears that know how to listen, and hands willing to do what is right when the moment requires it. I am moving you not only out of a former circumstance, but also out of an atmosphere that is no longer wide enough to nourish the person you are becoming. This change is deeper than a journey, a new job, or entering another environment. I am leading you away from places that forced your gift to make itself smaller, away from relationships that knew only the older version of you, and away from patterns that quietly limited your vision. Outwardly, everything may not yet appear different, but deep within you, movement has already begun. Things that once satisfied you no longer bring peace. Conversations that once felt familiar now seem shallow. Goals you once pursued are beginning to lose their attraction. Do not fear this feeling, because it is not ingratitude or instability. It is evidence that you have outgrown the old vessel that once contained you. I know this discomfort sometimes confuses you. You look at where you stand and wonder why everything no longer fits as before. You may still love those around you and remain grateful for the lessons you received, while at the same time feeling a strong pull towards something you cannot yet name. This is the stretching that comes before expansion. A seed feels pressure as its shell breaks before it rises toward the light. Wings beginning to open must pass through the tightness of the place that once protected them. You are not being drawn out because I want to make you unsafe. You are being drawn forward because a greater purpose has begun calling the abilities within you by name. There are things I see that you cannot yet see. I see rooms where your character will be valued rather than dismissed. I see people who will not feel threatened by the light you carry, but who will know how to support it and help it bear fruit. I see opportunities that will not require you to perform as someone else, betray your principles, or beg for recognition. Yet these things can connect fully only when you enter the right position. Even a perfectly shaped key cannot open the proper door while it remains lying in an old room. You do not lack value. You are being led to the place where that value can be used according to its purpose. Therefore, do not confuse being overlooked with having nothing worthy of recognition. You worked wholeheartedly, yet were ignored. You contributed more than others knew, but your name was never mentioned. Artemis. You wondered whether you were not skilled, creative, or visible enough. But, my beloved child, a good seed cannot grow merely by blaming itself while remaining in unsuitable soil. Some environments lack the depth to recognize your gift. Some people evaluate everything according to immediate advantage. And certain structures have become so accustomed to stagnation that they treat every form of renewal as a threat. Their failure to recognize you does not diminish what I placed within you. I am uprooting you from old soil, but not to damage your roots. I am preserving everything formed through the years so that you can be planted where there is enough light, space, and nourishment for growth. Being uprooted often hurts because roots become attached even to things that are no longer good simply because they feel familiar. You may grieve relationships, habits, and roles that once helped you understand how to live. But do not allow familiarity to become a chain. Some places were once an answer during one season, but if you remain too long, yesterday's answer will become tomorrow's limitation. What truly belongs to you will not be lost merely because you change direction. Sincere people will find ways to preserve connection respectfully, even when you no longer stand in the same environment. The skills, lessons, and experience you gathered will travel with you and become a foundation for what follows. What existed only because you feared change will gradually fall away. Do not call every departure a loss. Some separations are how I lighten your luggage so you do not drag the past into a future requiring free hands. I am not removing what is essential. I am helping you recognize what truly has value and what merely occupies space. Outward transition often begins through inward renewal. Before the location changes, your perspective changes. Before the door opens, you begin asking different questions. You no longer accept a life merely because it appears safe. You no longer call stagnation, peace, or trade purpose for approval. This is evidence that the process has already begun. I am opening your eyes to see what you once tolerated because you did not know another choice existed. I am renewing your mind so that you can enter a new season without continuing to react through the fears of the old one. You cannot carry a mindset of lack into a place of increase and still expect to be free. If you continue believing that every good thing will be taken away, you will live constantly on guard and remain unable to enjoy what is being offered. If you still believe that you must please everyone in order to stay, you will make yourself small even inside a wider room. If you allow former failures to speak for the future, you will stand before opportunity while still feeling like an outsider. Therefore, I am not only changing circumstances, I am teaching you to think like someone who has been healed. Choose like someone who knows their dignity. And walk like someone who no longer needs permission from the past to grow. Pay attention to what continually removes your peace. But do not act impulsively because of one temporary emotion. One exhausting day does not necessarily mean you must leave. And one disagreement does not mean an entire environment is wrong. I want you to observe the fruit over time. Does that place help you grow or continually make you doubt yourself? Can those around you offer loving correction Or do they only want to preserve a version of you they can control? Does the work you perform create meaning? Or is it wearing away the best parts of you? Clarity will come when you stop defending what has repeatedly demonstrated that it no longer fits. When everything begins to shake, do not immediately believe that I am destroying your life. Some structures must move so you can recognize that they were never stable. Certain forms of comfort must be interrupted so you stop sleeping inside a place without growth. If everything remained easy, you might continue staying simply because there was no strong reason to move. Therefore, discomfort is sometimes mercy concealed as pressure. It awakens the part of you that accepted less than your ability, less than peace, and less than the purpose entrusted to you for too long. Yet do not use these words to abandon responsibility or chase everything new. Genuine transition does not make you unfaithful. Before leaving a place, complete what must be completed. Keep your word and walk away honorably. Do not burn a bridge merely because you no longer desire to return. Do not use new growth as a reason to despise those who remain in the old place. You are not greater than they are. You are simply being called in a different direction. Leave in peace. Remain grateful for what you learned, and carry no bitterness. When your heart is clean, the new door will not be burdened by old shadows. The place toward which I am leading you will require greater maturity, not merely greater comfort. You will need discipline to manage opportunity, humility to learn what you do not yet know, and courage to stand inside rooms where you once believed you did not belong. You will meet people who recognize potential, but they will also expect you to take responsibility for the gift. Recognition is not the destination. It is an invitation to use what you possess more faithfully. Do not seek a new environment merely to receive praise. Seek a place where you can create value, serve through depth, and grow without losing integrity. My beloved child, transition began the moment you could no longer remain peaceful while living beneath your calling. Do not resist the process merely because you cannot yet see the entire picture. You do not need every detail before you can prepare. Complete unfinished matters. Learn what is necessary. Organize your life, and free your heart from unhealthy attachments. When the next step becomes clear, move with discernment, neither in panic nor through endless delay. I am not shaking you in order to break you. I am releasing you from what quietly kept your feet in place. What is falling away only reveals the foundation that has always belonged to you. Trust that this change is not leading you away from your, but bringing you nearer to the nature I placed within you from the beginning. You are being replanted, expanded, and prepared for a place where your light, character, and gift no longer have to live in darkness. Walk forward with humility and courage, because what lies ahead is not merely a new environment. It is the space where a more mature, free, and clear version of you can finally rise. There will be moments when you are tempted to doubt the good being formed within you, when voices around you try to persuade you that there is nothing special about you and that you should abandon the desire for a more meaningful life. I, Michael, want you to prepare your heart now, because not everyone can understand what is quietly growing within you. People often judge only by what is visible, where you stand, what you have accomplished, how many doors have opened, or how much recognition you receive. They do not see the battles you endured silently, the discipline you are building day by day, or the maturity formed during seasons when no one noticed. Therefore, do not give temporary opinions the authority to determine a calling that has lived within you for a long time. An uninformed word cannot erase purpose, just as a temporary cloud cannot make the light above disappear. Some will advise you to remain satisfied with something small merely because they lack the courage to believe in something greater for themselves. They may call your perseverance unrealistic, consider your desire too ambitious, or use former failures as proof that you should stop moving. You must understand that many limiting words come not from truth about you, but from limitations within the speaker's vision. They can judge only through what they have experienced and what they believe is possible. But your journey is not required to end at the boundary of their understanding. Receive counsel humbly. Examine your motives and change when necessary. But do not allow another person's doubt to become the home of your mind. Not every loud voice is correct, and not every form of resistance means you are moving in the wrong direction. What presently appears delayed is not always rejection. Some things require time because you are not merely being prepared to enter a door, you are being trained to remain steady after it opens. An opportunity arriving before you possess discipline can quickly become a burden. A position given before your identity is secure can make you dependent upon praise. A relationship appearing before you understand your own value can cause you to accept treatment beneath what you deserve. Therefore, the waiting season is not only arranging circumstances, it is correcting the way you think, choose, and respond to pressure. You believe you are merely waiting for something to happen, but in truth, a new person is being formed within you who can receive what is coming without losing direction. What remains hidden has not disappeared. A seed does not cease to exist when it is placed beneath the soil. It enters a stage where life is working beyond sight. Roots must first find depth before the tree can rise. In the same way, the years when you were not recognized helped you build a foundation independent of the crowd. You learned to continue doing what is right without applause, complete responsibilities without visible results, and preserve sincerity when no one was checking. These very qualities will help you remain steady when something greater is placed into your hands. Someone who shines only before the eyes of others easily loses direction when those eyes turn away. But you are being taught to let light emerge from the depth of character. Do not use another person's speed as the measurement of your value. Someone beside you may be moving faster, but they are walking another road and being prepared for another responsibility. You do not know the entire price they paid, nor do you know how long what came quickly will remain. Comparison only causes you to take your eyes away from the portion entrusted to you. When you continually look sideways, you overlook the small signs that you are moving forward. Perhaps you have not yet arrived where you desire, but you no longer respond as you once did. You have learned to say no to what drains you. Leave places that do not respect sincerity, and wait rather than accept what is wrong merely because you fear emptiness. This too is progress. Even when it creates no public attention, your timing is different because what you carry is different. Some doors cannot open until the environment behind them is ready to receive your depth, sensitivity, and faithfulness. I prevented you from entering certain places not because you lacked ability, but because they wanted to use your gift without valuing you as a person. Some groups would praise your devotion while refusing to protect your peace. Some people would desire the light you carry while rejecting the truth that light exposes. You do not need to enter every room. You need only be placed in the right room, where the gift can grow without requiring you to continually diminish yourself. You were chosen not because you never made mistakes, but because, after every fall, you still possessed enough humility to learn and enough courage to rise. I do not define strength as never feeling tired. Genuine strength often appears on days when you continue moving, although you do not feel powerful. It appears when you wipe away tears and still complete your responsibilities. When you refuse retaliation despite unfair treatment. And when you preserve hope, even though circumstances offer no clear reason. There were times when your faith became only a small flame, but you still protected it from being extinguished. That endurance carried you farther than you realize. I was present in the parts of the journey you did not understand. There were turns you once resisted but later recognized had saved you from painful outcomes. Certain encounters did not progress because you were protected from someone whose intentions were not pure. Some opportunities were withheld because they contained restrictions that could have required you to exchange dignity. You did not see every danger removed from your path, because the most effective protection is often what never receives permission to reach you. Therefore, do not conclude that I am absent merely because you cannot see the work being done. Silence is not abandonment, many times. It is the season when every detail is being arranged beyond your sight. The prompting toward a purposeful life is not pressure demanding that you prove yourself. It is direction reminding you that you cannot continue living beneath what has been entrusted to you. Many times, you tried to ignore that calling because you feared failure, the mockery of others, or stepping out only to discover that you were not capable enough. Yet the longer you delayed, the deeper your unrest became. This was not punishment. An unused ability continually reminds the person carrying it that something remains unfinished. Stop treating that prompting as a burden. You do not need to accomplish everything in a single day. You need only begin caring for what has been placed into your hands through one practical step. Learn what you still need to learn. Practice where you remain weak, and perform the work presently before you well. Do not wait for a large stage before beginning to use your abilities. If your words can bring encouragement, use them for one weary person. If you possess the ability to see direction, apply it first to bringing order into your own life. If you carry compassion, turn it into a practical action instead of preserving it only as emotion. Great callings are always proven through faithfulness in small matters. You do not need the entire world to see you before you can live according to purpose today. Your sensitivity is also part of what must be cultivated. You feel more deeply, recognize what others attempt to conceal, and often see the distance between words and actions. Yet do not allow this ability to become suspicion. It was not given so you could judge everyone, but so that you could love wisely, preserve boundaries, and recognize when to approach or withdraw. Not every feeling is accurate. So, allow time to test what you perceive. Mature discernment does not act through panic. It observes calmly, examines the fruit, and chooses what leads toward truth, love, and peace.